to my channel. Welcome, I'm Nubian, and for those of you who are returning, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another beautiful ass, magical ass moment in time. Y'all miss me? I miss yours. Not really, but for the sake of entertainment, I'll just say that. I did miss a lot of y'all though. I will admit that. But listen, so much is going on right now that your girl, I have to step back, make sure now that I'm in a fine alignment, I'm in tune, I am hearing from God Almighty, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not any other voices, because I had to be very clear going in this whole entire portal that we have all just stepped into. I mean, we didn't even get a choice. We didn't even get to, let's just say we did. Excuse me, many have gotten choices, but let's just put it like this. So many have chosen a side. They've decided which side they were going to choose. And a lot of people have chosen some sides where I'm like, dang, I see why they created that Kermit meme, sipping the tea. This is a good one. This is deep. But look, y'all, if y'all have yet to sign up for our Code 8 that's going down on April the 11th, you are doing yourself a disservice. Check out our website, look in the description link, and see what that consists of. And yeah, we put our money where our mouth is here. We have our autonomy, our reputation that stands behind us, and our job is to make sure that we're in our calling to help you become the better version of you that you have been born into this plane of existence to be. The Code 8 is set up for that. The Venus High Priestess coaching is set up for that, as well as we have our 72-hour gathering that we are doing before Passover, which is on April the 26th. You check with your guides, see what your guides are saying about what you are going to put donation-wise towards that. If you've already sent in a donation for that, you should have already received the link. If you haven't received it, let me know, because I could have missed you, but I doubt it. Highly doubt it. But if I did, because I am man, there's nothing you about me, then let's correct that, all right? So, with that being said, y'all, we have stepped into masterful times. These are, this is a whole nother frequency here. This is a whole nother vibe. This is like, this is the land of nowhere. This is the land where everyone comes out of the portal, right? And it's like what it really feels like. Have you ever been to one of those water slides at the water park, but it's just a big tube and you jump in the tube and on the raft and you just slide down and then you end up in this big pool of water and you splash? Yeah, that's what this is like. But the thing about it is a lot of people didn't make it down that tube. A lot of people stuck. They're stuck. So what I want to chime in to talk to y'all about is just that. Watching the energies that are around you, and everything that happens to you, it comes in segments, it comes in pieces. Everything that happens to you that seems bad is not the end all be all, y'all. You gotta change your mindset. You gotta stop looking at it like you're being punished. God doesn't love you. God is favoring somebody else more than you, or maybe you're just not good enough. You have to stop being so hard on yourself and start looking at situations like, wait, I asked for this. I asked for protection. I asked for God to put me in a certain place. I asked my angels, my ancestors to guide me in a certain way. And when they guide you in a certain way, when you're not comfortable with how you're being guided because you're in unfamiliar territory, does not mean that you feel like they're punishing you. They're just taking you through a pathway, through a portal of uncharted territory. And many of y'all are on uncharted territory. You're on lands, you're on grounds that are yet to be preserved. And this is what's so deep about it, because we have stepped into an energy field here where everyone's having to self-check themselves, and no one is able to come with the ego or the energy of yesterday. What I was seeing is how the divine spirit of life has first said judgment shall first begin in the house of God. So I saw where judgment began on the pulpit. So anyone who's done music for God, anyone who's done preaching or profiting, prophet work, things like that, have been tested, are being tested, are going to be tested. But I'm seeing an energy where now God is moving down in the pews, in the audience, with the people who are dressed up but messed up, with the people who are trying to bring the old timeline of the old church system into the new covenant, and God is not having that. I feel a strong energy of those who are mixing and mingling with that church energy are the ones who are responsible for carrying on the negativity of the old, and the negativity of the old is what made the entire world hate God, hate the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because of other people's behavior, God has gotten accused for either how a pastor is behaving, someone in his choir, a prophet, a minister, even the audience. Even those of you who are sitting in the pulpit, those of you who are sitting on the pews and watching the pastor, you're all cheering them on. You're supporting it because you're funding their ministries for it to happen. But God is very angry. He's not happy at all. What he also showed me is that there's a lot of folks that are claiming that they love God, but they are spiritually messed up. It's like they're all dressed up and they messed up. Everyone has this energy of claiming that they love God so much, but this is the hour of the test. We are stepping into an hour of light codes, and these are the codes of the angelic codes. See, everybody who profess that they love God, who profess that they're chosen, who profess that they're a leader, who profess that they're getting messages, they're going to be tested in this hour. And those of you who thought that you wanted this position, you're going to be tested in this hour as well. But one thing that I've noticed that God is really honing in on, he's honing in on folks who are dressed up but messed up. Those who claim that love God but hate their sisters and brothers, talk behind their sisters and their brothers' back. Those who look at their sisters and their brothers in judgment when God is purifying them, when God is molding them, when God is loving them. See, we may take it upon our heart to hate someone and not like them. But what God has taught me is he has taught me that when someone truly loves you, they're going to talk about you all the time. You talk about someone all the time when you truly love them. But what God has truly shown me is that there's a lot of people out there who talk about God all day, but when the tests come, when it's time for them to be down for the gospel, when it's time for them to be down for God, when it's time for them to be down truly for the remnant, truly for the cause, they want all of the nooks and crannies and all the material things and the visual things that sound good. They want that. They'll go for that all day. But when it comes down to getting their knees dirty, to really putting in the work, that's when everybody go ghost. That's when everybody run. If God told you right now to go live in a cave or go live next to a cave, and you would be around ghosts, you're going to be around UFOs, you're going to be around scorpions, you're going to be around lions, you're going to be around tigers and bears, would you go? Hell no, you wouldn't go. You know why? Because you don't have no faith in God like that. But there are those who have stepped up in this hour. I don't care what we facing. It don't matter what we face, and we've already sold ourselves out for God. We're already dedicated to the cause, so we owe no one no explanation for what it is that we're doing. See, what I've realized with the old guard is that the old guard like to go check with the old guard to say, let me see if that sounds like something how we used to do it, how our tradition used to do it. Well, God is disgusted. God is like, you really checking with the tradition of how they used to do it? Well, if they were supposed to do it, then why didn't they do it? If they were supposed to check with those, then why didn't they check with those? See, y'all missed the part where it is written that there will be those that will come that will do greater works than me. Voila, we here. So now y'all gonna have to put your money where your mouth is. So everybody claiming they so big and bad, they hard. They can shoot all these rounds. Everybody want to flash their guns. But baby, we have stepped into an energy field here where your guns ain't gonna help you. It is written in the Bible where God says, oh, they want to get them guns, and God we trust, right? I'm going to let them kill themselves. But you know what's deep about the remnant? Is the remnant don't need no guns because they are the guns. The remnant don't need no bow and arrows. They don't need no knives. They don't need none of that. You know why? Because they know how to decree the elements of the earth. The entire universe backs them up. They not afraid to go near no demons, no lions, no tigers, no bears, no scorpions, no snakes. You think they gonna run from a snake? No, they gonna pick them up and they gonna grab his neck and they gonna break his neck because they realize that they're indigenous to these lands. And God told us that he will give us powers to tread upon serpents. See, a lot of people like to talk, but they just talking. But really put them to the test. Really let them crawl through a cave. Let them go through a cave where it's completely dark and ain't nothing in there, and you don't know what the heck is in front of you. You don't know if it's a bat, if it's a demon, if it's a ghost. What about ghosts that appear in trees in front of you? What about a whole area where the rock is burnt and the trees are burnt because that's where the UFOs land? Will you walk in that area? Will you even live in that area? See, some of y'all talk a good game, but when it comes to the spookness of it, I would love to take a whole lot of y'all where I go. I would love to even put y'all Survivor. Right, Survivor ain't got nothing on the remnant. Because we know that these are the times that we were born for this. We were DNA coded for this. See, a lot of y'all too prideful to listen to God's voice. So what y'all will do is y'all will step in your ego and you will be like, well, I know they gonna need me. Well, nah, I ain't even finna deal with them no more. But God said this is the hour where everybody is not only expendable, but everybody is replaceable. So don't get too comfortable. Even if for those of you who are in your heavenly positions, in your positions of heavenly entitlement, you are replaceable at any second. Don't feel as if because you are the remnant, or don't feel as if because you are chosen by God that you can walk around with this egotistical attitude because God will break you. Don't feel for 1 second that you finna come up in God's camp and you finna go and you finna whisper to everybody and God not reveal what's going on, because God is a God of order. God is not no God of mess. Anyone who is coming around in any camp of mine that I know of that is filled with mess, you think if God don't put up with it, what makes you think I'm finna put up with it? And what's deep about it is that so many people will point the finger at you as if something's wrong with you or you doing something that's foreign because they don't understand what you're doing, so they're not comfortable. So they'll go talk to other people to say, what y'all think about what they doing? Because I never heard of it done that way before. Well, I don't know what you think. Well, they'll go get everybody's opinion except going to the boss. And see, the boss see everything. And when the boss see everything, the boss also can pick up on energy. The boss know when the energy change. They know what caused the energy to change. They do certain stuff, even to test to see what's going down with certain energies. And that's when the demons begin to reveal themselves. So when the demons begin to reveal themselves, that's how you know how to place everybody where they're supposed to be at. I asked God, why do you allow me to interact with these demons and these witches and these warlocks and these simple-minded people all the time? And they made it very clear to me that if they kick everybody out of my environment, that I would never be able to understand the energies of whether it's an entity, a demon, a warlock, a goblin, a mermaid, a leprechaun. Who are you? What kingdom are you from? Who called you before me and my empire and my kingdom? Identify yourself. It's interesting because there's a lot of people who are dealing with identity theft right now. And what God has shown me about identity is that we have stepped into an hour where so many of y'all think y'all somebody, but whoever you thought that you were, that whole thing is about to flip and shift, because whoever you thought that you were molding the people to believe that you truly are, you're in for a rude awakening, especially if it's not edifying and uplifting the glory and the kingdom of heaven. You see, this is God's stage here. And that's why God's about to make an example out of all y'all who've made a decision to serve the other side. Because you have to pick one side or the other. Ain't no such thing as riding the gates. Ain't no such thing as saying, no, I'm not with that. Because to not make a choice is still to make a choice. It's just like when somebody ghosts you. When they ghost you, they're being very obvious about what they're doing because they're ghosting you. It's just like Adam, who was hiding in the garden, Eve, who was hiding in the garden when God showed up. They were hiding because they were hiding their guilt. They were afraid, they were ashamed because they already knew that they were in the wrong. That's the same exact thing that happens when somebody just disappears out of your life. They are exposing their true selves because they know that they've already wronged you in some way. And they don't know how to face you. They don't know how to face you because facing you is just like going before God to repent. But see, we are stepping into the hour where God has shown me that he's going through the pews of the church right now. So all y'all who's dressed up or messed up, sitting around talking about God's people, sitting around claiming that you love God, but you can't stand your sister and your brother, God said, that's cool. I ain't got a problem with that. You ain't got to like your sister and your brother. But it's not about you. This is about my kingdom. This is about my glory. This has nothing to do with your ego. And if you think that it has something to do with your ego, I'm going to break you in this hour. Because God don't want nobody playing with him, period. And God's in this energy right now to where God is demanding order in the house of God. There will be no more of the old guard. It's gone. God will not allow any of us, period, to take the past into what it is that he has just brought us into. There is order in the land that we have stepped into. There is order in this hour. And even though the enemy knows that he has been trying to stop what God's plan is, he can't stop what God's plan is. That's why he put his minions in place. That's why he already marked, just like God marked and sealed his 144,000. You know Satan got a copy. So what did he do? He marked his 666,000 with what? With his worldwide debut. With the tennis shoes with blood. Those are his elect that wear those shoes. Those are the chosen ones of Satan. Those are the ones who have been agreed to take on the energy portal of demonic energies. And at a certain time, this specific code, this specific portal, this specific shield will be activated. Once it's activated, there will be 666 demons that come out of each person who has brought these shoes. And these 666 demons are per person. These are the children of Satan. Now, the reason that they had to be on the shoes and that they were marked with the violet blood is because Satan wants his children blood all over the planet. Because as he tries to wreak havoc on the people, on God's people, he wanted his seal and his stamp all over this earth. But this is why it is written that even in this hour, that even the remnant, you will be tested. You will be tested. You watch for tricks, y'all. There's a lot of tricks. Watch for tricks. Hell, I got caught up in a trick recently. But it's all good because they got me good. But it was cool because what the devil means for evil, God means for good. God flipped that whole thing around. It's in my favor, period. So what I'm telling y'all is this. God is going through the pews right now. I see him ripping over the chairs of those of you who claim that you love God, but you hate your sister and your brother. You talk about your sister and your brother. You have made a mockery of God. So even people who are around you, they are blaming God and they don't want nothing to do with God because of you. They looking at your attitude and your energy. And they looking at like our mama and they mama did it. And they like, nah, that's God. I don't want nothing to do with that. And because of your attitude, a lot of people are choosing. Do you hear me? They are choosing Satanism. They are choosing to follow the devil. They are choosing to become Satan's children. And a lot of them were your own children. So we're here. I hope y'all got a good prayer warrior team on y'all side. I hope y'all are ready for this battle of Armageddon that we have stepped into. Whether you like it or not, it is here. Oh, by the way, be mindful. The 3 days of darkness are upon us. It's interesting because no matter who you try to tell, no matter who you try to convince, ain't nobody gonna listen to you at all. So what you have to do is you focus on you being ready. It's gonna happen. It's going to be broad daylight. And all of a sudden, darkness is going to come up on the land. In my vision, I saw where we were inside and there was no power going at all because everybody was afraid to even turn on any type of power, any type of light. All we could do was just pray. But I heard the screams and the cries of the people throughout the land. I heard children crying. I heard children screaming. I heard people screaming. I heard men screaming. These men were screaming like they were being tormented. These women were screaming like they were being tormented. These children they were screaming like they were being tormented. And then I heard them. I don't know what these things are, but it's like they were feeding on the people. I don't know what they were, y'all, but I saw one of them. I saw one of them. It was ugly. It looked like an Antillean. It had his shoulders like thrown back, his arms up, like, like you make that mean mug fist type of thing, but it was pointing his fingers down and his nails were long and black. And it was on his tippy toes. It walks on his toes like horse hooks, like lamb nails. And it tiptoes and it bends its knees when it walks. And it has these big, skinny, long, tall legs and these skinny, long, black arms and black body. And it has on both sides of it wings, black wings. It looks like an Antillean. It's ugly as hell. But this thing, it's already here. It's already here. I saw it surrounding my inner circle, but it couldn't touch me. I'm in a dome. When I saw it, I said, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to the people who don't see this? The 3 days of darkness. Don't look out the door. Don't look out the window. Don't see what's going on outside. Tell your friends, your children, your family, your loved ones that if they hear you outside the door, don't open it because it's not you. And you have to know that these specific entities, these specific demons, these voices are going to sound like a lot of us. They're going to sound like y'all. Your family members are going to get tricked. A lot of people are going to open the doors because they're going to really feel like it's their family member because they voice sound just like that. If you look outside and you look at them, whoever looks at them will immediately turn evil. And then that puts everybody else in the household at risk as well. Y'all have to be ready. Make sure that you have boots on. Make sure that you always keep something warm for you and for your baby. You should have a bug out bag or something next to the door. I would tell y'all that it's going to be very deep because the entire world fears the government and they fear the drop of the dollar and they feel this cryptocurrency crunch. They're afraid of concentration camps. But what is coming is going to make that stuff look like a walk in the park, like Disneyland. What y'all don't see coming is going to tickle the hearts of mankind. What we are going to witness with our own eyes is going to individually test our strengths. It's going to individually test our power. And this is why God is not playing at all with his so-called church folks. And he was also showing me that the so-called church folks, especially the old guard who's been in church for a long time, if somebody like me come along and I'll be like, I was a stripper or I was a drug addict, they're going to be like, no, I knew I didn't like them. Yeah, you better watch them. Yeah, I heard about them. Yeah, I don't know. I'll pick up something funny about them. No, you're picking up something funny about yourself. You picking up something funny because the light in me sees the darkness and the demon within you. So what's even deeper about it, what God was showing me is that the spirit that's been running rampant within the churches is also the same exact spirit when it comes to the feminine energy. It's the same exact spirit where these feminines went into the colleges and they joined these sororities. And then all of a sudden, especially those of you Israelites who all of a sudden gained power overnight because you signed these covenants and you signed onto blood covenants, by the way. A lot of y'all still haven't broken those blood covenants from y'all so-called sororities that you're all pumping up. Those sororities were founded from taking the very lives of your forefathers, and y'all joined it with pride. This is why it's so important for us to do our research. In this hour, if you don't know who you are and you're allowing someone else to come around you to dictate what they feel about you and how they don't like what it is that you're doing, so many people, what I have noticed is they're going to be so quick to follow the crowd because they want to keep their status. They want to keep their position. They don't want to be ostracized right along with those of us who are true soldiers. So what they'll do is they'll back away from you. They'll get quiet. They'll let others know that they weren't with you, that they thought that it was something weird. So be careful of the Judases in y'all camp. Oh yeah, we truly are in that hour. You think that Yeshua didn't have a Judas in his camp? Who y'all see, what's deep about it is Yeshua knew who the Judas was. And that's what's so deep about it too, because the energies that we have stepped into, I always told y'all, you ain't even got to be around the person. You already know what they feeling. You know what they thinking. And I don't care what it takes, y'all. If you not hearing from God, you should cut everybody off. Ask anybody that know me. I am cut off queen. Ain't nobody else's voice important at all if I don't hear God's voice. What possibly could anybody have to say to me? Hold on, y'all. It's like the blind leading the blind. No, hold on. If I'm blind, I don't hear my beep to cross the road to get to the other side. So I'm awake because there is traffic right now. If I don't hear God's voice, I ain't trying to pick up no phone calls. I ain't trying to call nobody back. I ain't trying to talk to you. I'm not trying to explain nothing to you. Because what I realized in this hour is that a lot of people did not do their own footwork. And because they did not do their own footwork, if you step back to talk to God and you focusing on God and your relationship with God and you making sure that you're good with God, they all of a sudden start feeling funny style about you. They start picking up them old feelings that are still in their system that they still have yet to heal from. And all of a sudden you're going to be the protocol of their victimhood because they don't realize that it's coming from their own autonomy. But because you're the brightest light around, you're automatically going to be the one that did it to them. That's why with me and my household, I don't care who you are. Everybody's suspect. Period. So, with that being said, I'm going to end it right there, y'all. I just had to check in with y'all and make sure that y'all paying attention because not only do we have this wave that came in, but God is cleaning house. 3 days of darkness is upon us. The Passover is upon us. It's a trend, y'all. So many of us are super excited about Passover. But what's even deeper about it is that everybody already chose a side. And the way that you can truly choose, truly see, truly discover what's going down around you is by truly checking to see if a person is in love with God. Because anybody can claim that they're in love with God all day. But what God has shown me is that even if there's people around that I don't like, but if that person is in love with God, they go with me. I stand corrected because it's not about me. It's about the kingdom. It's about what's I'm going to do in this hour for the kingdom. And if anybody ain't talking about what they going to do for the kingdom, man, they ain't talking about nothing. Period. Nothing. So here it is. We have stepped into these energies where y'all about to see a shade. Ooh, y'all about to see a shade. Yeah. Here it is, y'all. And you can't do nothing. There's no reason for you to get scared. Don't be like, oh my God, Nubian said we go see a shark. I mean, I look at it like this. If I'm facing a mountain lion, it's going to be me and that mountain lion. Because look, even if I call the police don't even take my side anyways. They always take the side of the person who always doing the bullshit. And even if I report the person, it don't matter if I report the person because they still going to take the other person's side. Because it's very obvious by now who's awake and who's not awake. And trust me when I say, the devil is going to help the devil. So in this energy right now, what I'm seeing, if there's a mountain lion, if there's a UFO, if there's a demon, if there is a snake, if there is a scorpion, These are my lands. I am indigenous to these grounds. And my frequency does not allow fear within my frequency. Y'all talking about the Mr. Smiths. I'm talking about the gods of these realms. I'm on a whole nother level here. So here it is. Now we're in the energies to have to face the gods of these realms. And the gods of these realms are the same exact gods who were around at the time that our forefathers, our ancestors were taken out. So now we got to face these demons again. But what's deep about it is that we coming with a whole nother power now. We coming with a whole nother power now. And I don't care what anybody say. I ain't even got no gun. But I promise you, I ain't running from nothing. Period. I don't need no gun. I am the weapon. Every single thing I need, every single weapon you think that you can find, it's already embedded within me. I ain't running from nothing. I fear nothing. And I'm not just saying it just to say that. I feel it in my bones. Ooh, I feel it in my spirit. I don't care what it is. We can't walk into this energy that's in front of us afraid. You came this far, you finna chicken out now, you finna run. I thought you were bad. I told y'all some of y'all too cute for this war. Y'all got your weaves on. Y'all can be putting that money into food. Y'all got your nails all done and stuff. Knowing that it's messing up your organs and your insides, what's so cute about that? If you gotta run right now, all of a sudden you outside and it just immediately turns 3 days of darkness, what you gonna do, run and break a nail? And some of y'all not even dressed for the occasion just because it's springtime or summertime. Trust me when I say, just as sure as it turns darkness, the weather's gonna drop as well too. It's gonna be freezing. So y'all could be outside and showing y'all little breasts and all that stuff with y'all weaves and y'all little cute nails on and all that stuff. But baby, what's gonna hit this land? It's gonna be during a time when you're gonna wish you wouldn't have left that house that day without your jacket, without the right tennis shoes on. This is why at all times, y'all, buy your boots. Boots on the ground, buy your boots. And when you're focusing on buying these boots, make sure they're ankle boots and above. And when you buy these boots, don't buy no boots, y'all, unless you're gonna dedicate your walk and your life to God. When you buy these boots, get them happily. Don't care how much the boots are, period. Know that these are the boots. If there's no other store in the world that's open, these are the boots that's gonna truck me through the battle of Armageddon. So this is the hour, like I said. We letting all the little minions sitting around and talk. We letting all the little gun toters and everybody who feel that they need weapons, we letting them talk. But we the real superheroes and we know it. See, some of us not only talk about it, but we be about it. And just because you don't see us in front of the scenes, we still behind the scenes. And just because a lot of y'all like to send spellcraft and witchcraft, you can't stop the movement of God, period. And no matter what you do, God got to give you permission for it. But trust me when I say that we're in that hour right now, man, there's a lot of us who ain't scared. There's a lot of us who ain't running for nothing. For what? There's no need for any of us to be afraid in this hour. And truth be told, some of y'all too focused on that man. Some of y'all too focused on that woman. And this is the hour where you're going to forfeit your tickets to a heavenly space for somebody who don't even love themselves, let alone love you. They not worth it. Ain't nothing worth my soul. Period. Y'all like my new word? I do. Period. With that being said, y'all, I'm going to chime off now. I just wanted to chime in to give y'all a little word. I love y'all. And I love yourself. In the meantime, in between time, may the force be with y'all. Because I know the force is with me. Nubian Divine. Your shield, I'm covered by your grace. By your shield, I'm covered through the darkness. Yeah. By your shield, I'm covered by your grace.